Ooh, that must have hurt. That's not how we do it here. Free people of Middle-earth, I will guide you, and no one will die this time. Hello my friends, and welcome to my very second video. Today we're going to ask the question, can you beat The Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth 2, the good campaign, without losing a single unit? The rules are a bit different this time around, but I will explain why. First, no unit I control can die, otherwise I have to reload. Although this time around there will be an exception to this rule. If I have to save units that are not mine, for example from a skirmish, or I get only control after they are close to dying, then I am allowed to save the battalion and single soldier deaths do not count. Otherwise this run wouldn't be possible. Of course I will try my best to prevent this. Second, summoned units like Tom Bombadil die when their timer is up. So if I beat the mission before the timer ends, they are fair game. Otherwise they count as a death. Third, the campaign will be completed on hard difficulty, on patch 109, because honestly that's the most recent patch that worked quite well for me. Fourth, allied units must be saved if possible, but only as far as it's feasible. Fifth, bugs, glitches and exploits are allowed, but only if absolutely necessary. Oh, and AI manipulation and cheese is highly recommended. Bonus rule, because I forgot last time. Buildings are not units even if someone stands on top of them. That's just an illusion. So let's jump right into action. Rivendell is our first mission of the run. We must warn Elrond that orcs are trespassing into Rivendell. Aiding us this time around is Glorfindel, the mighty elven warrior. Like you could have guessed, we take the heal spell because we will need it eventually. I kill some patrolling orcs around the area with Glorfindel and my troops stand back and cheer him on. Then I find a troop of elven warriors fighting with some orcs. I need to heal them up at just the right time and hope that they don't get stuck or followed by the orcs, otherwise a unit will die. Which means reloading. I should really consider making a reload counter, should I? Anyway, I save them without a loss and move on, more clearing with only Glorfindel. He ranks up to level 3 and gets his first ability, which makes him invulnerable for some time. Could be useful later. We're almost at Rivendell now. I ride forth with Glorfindel and have to save now 2 elven battalions that fight with orcs. Same strategy as before. Heal them up, retreat and hope for the best. Glorfindel does the heavy lifting again. We inform Elrond of the orcs wandering around. He's furious. They trampled all over his famous Epimedium Alpinum. This cannot go unpunished. We take our 3 heroes now, Glorfindel, Gloin, I don't know where he came from, but I gladly take another hero, and Elrond. The newcomer dwarf clears the first wave of incoming orcs almost by himself to get some XP. Then Elrond loses his coal and gets in to get his revenge for his flowers. Glorfindel goes after him to stop him, but to no avail. With the attacks cleared, we get Bowman and Arwen joins the fight with some riders. We thank her for letting all her troops stay in their back and let the heroes do the job again. One defense later, and we have to take the fight to them now. Our squad of heroes marches forth, attacks the enemy camp, and help arrives. The giant eagles are here to help us, and they are really good. They deal good damage, can obviously fly, and have just a small HP pool of 40,000 HP, so I can send them in as long as I want without worrying. With the orc camp destroys, the mission ends. That was far. Wait, why isn't it ending? Oh, there's a boss at the end, if you can even call it one. A whelm. It deals serious damage to my heroes and I need to be careful. Luckily, our eagles combined with our heroes deal enough damage to take it down quickly. Now the mission ends properly. After our last garden adventures in Rivendell, flower specialist Elrond sends us to the next location where orcs have been seen destroying nature. This time they were raiding the high pass from the rare Leotopodium alpinum. We can't let this happen. This is also the first time where we get to build our own base. Unlike in BFME 1, we don't have fixed slots for buildings. We have builders now who can almost build anywhere provided there's enough space. It's a bit funky for modern standards and I personally like the system of BFME 1 a bit more, but it has its advantages. I can build as many defensive structures as I want, and I will abuse the shit out of this. I carefully clear with Glorfindel and Gloin, still don't know why he's here, away up the pass while building up my forces. I randomly use my forest ability, which was by the way gifted by our flower lord Elrond himself, on a high ground, and there are some orcs and elves standing there without doing anything. Nice to see that the units are even there before we trigger them. Sometime later, when we walk in the direction of the enemy camp, we get a camera pan. Haldir, who is he again and why is he here again, is in danger and we must save him. I make my way to him, but not this fast, but steadily. He can hold out for a while. I mean, he was just standing there doing nothing. My builders also expand my base as far as I can in case I need to retreat or an attack force comes. My army is ready to save Haldir. I charge in and use all my buffs and debuffs, heal their ass up, try to command them back, and one battalion just cheers while being stabbed to death by little goblins. Great. Next try, and this time around they decide to move. Thank you guys. I saved them and Haldir without someone foolishly dying. The melee squads have to rest at our base for safety reasons. Some bonus objectives later, and I move to the last base in this mission. It's mostly easy going, just watch out for spider riders, because they can easily kill my men if they rush into them. One final building and the mission Oh, there's a watcher, another boss. They really like to do this, do they? With my archers attacking him, and while he's unable to do anything, I sit there and enjoy his health bar going down. Now within that, the mission finally What? There's a camp? Oh, behind him is another building. We destroy it and the mission ends now? What a weird way to end a mission. With the snow flower saved, we now need to eradicate the source of this flower destructing evil, the Goblin King. With him killed, the goblins will lose their will to fight and we can drive them off this plane. The beginning is roughly the same as in mission 1. We start off with Glorfindel and Gloin and 2 useless melee battalions and must hurry. Haldir says that he doesn't want to be a part of our team anymore and he's looking for another team, if he so wishes. We move forward and find some archers which are quite useful and move on. Now we have to rescue some elves that are attacked by fully upgraded orcs and a troll. Unfortunately, no matter how many buffs, debuffs on the enemy, and here's I throw at that one group which is stuck on the right, they always die. As I stated in the rules, I will try my best to keep rescuable units alive, but they just don't want to live. Shame. Moving on. We get a base and Haldir returns because he has no one else and we exact him back, but only to laugh at him later. I build up and slowly creep forward using my heroes. I would bring my archers with me, but there are spider riders around who love to kill my ranged units, so they are on defense duty. In the west is an Endmood we can save, which we gladly do because I love my friends, the tents. With them saved, I can build Treebeard and a buddy of his. They will provide artillery support for me. Tents, or should I say no, ends, for artillery, and move forward with my heroes and break through the wall of the fortress. I demolish some buildings and the hateful flower-detesting Goblin King shows his ugly face. We fight him to the death. For Elrond! He goes down and we save the Snowflower's cousin, the Sarcodes Sanguinea. Our master gardener of Elrond will be pleased. One last castle to crush and the mission ends. This time around for real. Our journey gets us to the Blue Mountains, where we need to help some dwarves taking back their home. They were driven out from their home by a dragon. One free dwarf prisoner from last mission told us that the dragon burns all plants inside the dwarf's home to make place for his treasures. We can't let this happen, especially if you consider that the rare Silene aculis grows here. This plant is endangered and we must do something immediately. Our forces have to run away from the dragon because we can't fight him on an open field. Why I don't know, so does nobody else it seems. While we run away, one of our elven squad gets blasted. Nice. But since there's nothing we can do to prevent this cutscene, we move on. We flee into a mineshaft filled with spiders. Luckily, Gloin and Glorfindel are trained in pest control and quickly eradicate the spiders. I build a base and use the space as efficiently as I can. The double G squad is meanwhile on its way clearing through goblins, spiders, trolls and giants. When there's no more place to build a mine for resources, I switch to statues. Why, you may ask? You see in BFM 2, you get increased supply every time you build a mine, a fortress or a statue, until you hit your max supply cap. You don't get as much supply from a statue, it's only about 10 supply, but I can build as many as I want. With our max supply cap at 800 now, we buy upgrades and build an army, just in case. Won't matter anyway, but I didn't knew that at the time. Our heroes made their way through the mine and almost died in a very risky fight, where spiders, giants, orcs all attacked at the same time. Luckily, I could salvage the situation until mini fire dragons arrive. With a last minute heal, I saved my heroes and they barely survived this encounter. Not even close. They clear the map from dragons slowly but carefully because they deal massive damage to them. With everything clear, I just have to destroy the last gates. Neat little feature I didn't know about, Gloin can't attack the gates because he loves his people's craftsmanship too much. Killing the dragon with my units is now my last objective. But hey, why risk my troops' life when we have the best builders of Middle-earth here? I start my construction plan. A fortress in the mine and towers everywhere. I mean many towers everywhere. With my building project completed, I destroy the last gate and let the dragon get demolished without any risk that my troops die. He gets slashed by 1,000 axes and dies. The dwarves are saved and can return to their home, under the one condition that they take care of the rare plants inside. The dwarves are saved now and we get to do the same with the elves. The Grey Havens are under attack. We arrive at the Grey Havens and our goal is to save the city from a corsair attack. The heroes kill these fire-loving creatures because, as we all know, fire hurts the flowers. Also, there's a rumor that one of the corsairs has a rare Nymphaea odorata with him. We have to find it now. Elrond would be so thankful to have one. With the city cleared, our next objective is to take the port and hoist the flag on the shipyards. But if we don't do this for a while, the mission won't progress and we can keep building up. Guess what I ended up doing? 2 giant eagles later and the map is as far explored as I can. I raised the flag and built my naval force. 4 ships should be enough, I hope. I don't want to waste any more supply as I need to. The corsairs attack with their naval force and I use my eagles to destroy most of their forces. Some well-placed towers with range support also provide fire. It's close and I need to reload one time, but at the end no ship of mine sinks and no units die except that pesky fire-loving corsairs. The new objective is to destroy their port now. For that my feathery friends help me again while I build a transport ship for my heroes. My eagles escort them and they instantly die. Whoops! Next try I don't screw up badly and my heroes land on the shore and take over one shipyard. The other one can wait. I built for no specific reason a massive tower army on the big shore to the west and totally not because there is a big attack incoming. No. Meanwhile my heroes find the corsair base and in it is the Nymphaea odorata. The heroes pull back and I ready my towers. I let the eagles destroy the last port and then another naval attack from the orcs attacks. They get shredded on the shore because they can't do much against my tower force. Our friends the dwarves arrive because someone messaged them at the beginning of the mission. I must have missed that, oops. With them I built 2 dwarven fortresses on the shore to bolster my tower defenses. The next wave arrives and it's basically the same. My eagles take care of most of the ships and the towers kill everything that lands on the shore. One last wave will come. I ready my forces once again and wait. They are coming, with more ships, troops and even catapults on top of the ships, which have absurd range. I need to kill them with my eagles before they can do much damage. Unfortunately there are too many ships now and my flying allies wouldn't survive it for a long time, so I have to pull them out early. My defenses get overwhelmed and the towers fall quick. I need to pull back. The enemy troops diminish one by one as they attack my fortresses and after some time, there's no one left and I win. The screen fades to black and I beat this mission without a loss. We saved the elves and now the dwarves are under attack again. In Celduin we must fight for survival. The mission starts off pretty basic. You get King Dain as a hero and some basic troops which are melee, which means Dain has to go on a solo duty. He received a letter from Elrond which informs him that the Mordor forces are looking for a rare plant named Alisma triviale. King Dain knows of course that this plant is home and Dale, and he must keep Mordor from getting it. Not gonna lie, this mission was long and took a lot of reloads. There are many skirmishes where you have to play perfectly to save units and a lot of waiting for health. In the first few seconds some enemies attack and ignore Dain. Someone dies. Great. Not even 5 seconds in and I have to restart. Next time around, I heal my units, buff them, debuff the enemy, and they survive. I move forward and save again another group of forces, which include bowmen. So now I have range support at least. We rest up and wait for our spell powers to recharge because I desperately need them. The next wave is unfortunately so deep in fighting that I don't think it's possible to prevent a death. I tried for some time, but even with maximum buffing, I don't have enough damage/heal to survive it. But at least I can keep every battalion alive, and that's what I'm going to do for this section. I try to save everyone, but my primary goal is that every battalion survives. After some time I rejoin with my objective and can use now the little base there to heal up, but not for long. Then as soon as I rest, a Mumakil attack waves comes my way. I have to look out for the Mumakils and focus fire them down before they get to my units, otherwise they get trampled to death. After some trial and error, I make it through without a loss. My units can at least catch a break for now. I heal up and recharge my powers, then I slowly pull enemy units out of their base. First some catapults, then corsairs, orcs, and then trolls with their escorts. They all slowly fall to my men of Dale. Even a Nazgul attempts on foot to kill me, but he's not fire resistant and my bowmen make sure to remind him. As I cross to the Mordor base, a worm is summoned and I need to pull back. Luckily I can just dance around for a bit until his timer runs out. I'm not going to lie, I almost shit my pants when it appeared. The rest of the mission is basically slow clearing and the occasional pulling back and spell power recharge waiting game. Also known as SRWG. There is only one interesting tactic I use at the end, and it's called King Dane smashing the fortress to pieces. I move in with King Dane while catapults try to shoot him. He then gets close to the fortress and destroys the catapult buildings while they can't reach him. He pulls back to heal up and goes in for the fortress. This will take some time. I enjoy my win as I watch King Dane demolishes the castle. Then I get attacked at my base. What? I jump up from lying in my chair and see that I got somehow reinforcements. Okay. I evac them so nobody dies. King Dane destroys the fortress and the mission ends. What? A bonus objective completed? Now the mission ends. What is up with this weird mission endings? I don't know. Moving on. With Mordor driven back in Celduin, the Erebor stands now under attack. The dwarves must fight for survival in their homeland. This is going to be tough. 3 waves of enemies that get progressively stronger. I need a plan. But before that, another letter from Elrond arrives. Dear King Dane, I heard from your recent victory and protection of the Alisma Triviale, but I'm in need of your help again. Your home, the Erebor, is also the home of the Lithops from Fieldy, and as you all too good know, should the Erebor fall, so does the wildlife with it. So I will contact the elves in Mirkwood to send you troops for backup. Hold out until they arrive. King Dane's mission is clear. No one will die today. He gets his builders together and forges a plan which will include the destruction of the Mordor army. So we have around 50 minutes before Mordor arrives with the first wave, but be warned, there are smaller waves that come earlier. My plan, King Dane's plan, is to construct 2 fortresses in front of the Erebor, fully upgraded, and the greatest wall of towers known to dwarves. His words, not mine. I build, and I build as much as I can before the timer expires. The timer reaches 0, and Mordor arrives. The first wave mostly consists of corsairs and ground troops, and they are quickly wiped out from my catapults. But I realize something. They also destroy my own towers and hurt my forces significantly. Uh-oh. With the first wave dispatched, I get to rebuild my structures and spread them out a bit more so my backline doesn't wipe out everything at once. The timer expires and the second wave is coming. They have Mumakis now, which honestly shouldn't be a problem, and they really weren't. My towers and catapults make quick work of them. Second wave completed, 1 more to go. I rebuild as much as I can again and make ready one last time. The last wave consists of trolls, and I mean many trolls. About 20 fully leveled, upgraded trolls are coming my way. That's gonna be fun. They are tanky, deal massive damage, and are quite fast for their size. I opted to hold them off for as long as I can with towers, abilities, and King Dane as a distraction. When the towers fall, I pull out my last ace up my sleeve. I use my spell power Cloud Break to stun every troll, while my catapults fire at them. It thins their ranks, and even though not everyone is dead by the time they connect with my base, there's no way they can win now. They slowly die. Meanwhile, Thranduil and his forces arrive to aid me, and instantly fire a catapult and something dies. Reload time. Thranduil arrives and I send them immediately to a safe place, where they wait until I dispatch the last forces, including the mouth of Sauron. With Mordor's army destroyed, I pick my first 20 power point spell, which is Earthquake, and I use it on the Mordor fortress to soften it up. My heroes clear the rest, and I beat the Erebor without a loss. That was quite the mission. The dwarves and the Erebor plant life are saved, but there's one final goal our master gardener Elrond has in mind: the total destruction of Dol Guldur. You see, our Flower Lord himself discovered during our journeys that Mordor holds all their most valuable prisoners here. So what do you think we could find here? Obviously the Genus Viola. We have to free it and destroy Mordor once and for all. Elrond leads the attack himself to ensure that everything goes smooth. The mission starts you off in the outskirts of Dol Guldur. The fortress is massive. Also, both of your flanks are covered in spider nests, which must be cleared to avoid any accidental deaths. I clear with Elrond and build up a small base with towers to repel incoming attacks. Elrond finishes the east side and I start a defensive wall of towers, so no one gets to my units. Reinforcements are not necessary at this point, so I don't activate the signal flares yet. What really shines in this mission are spells from my spellbook. With Earthquake, Spawn Tower, and so many more, I can clear my way through the enemy without sacrificing anything. The east is now secure, and I start to reinforce the middle of my base with 2 fortresses. This will keep attacks at bay and gives me the ability to summon my feathery friends once again. Elrond does the same in the west, north. I don't know what direction this is anymore, and you will later discover what the idiot I really am. With the outskirts of Dol Guldur secured, I take my eagles and explore and take out as many catapults and towers as I can. They have to evac and heal up sometime, but I make slow progress. When I breach the outer layer of the dark base, a timer appears. Mordor will start a counter attack from somewhere. I honestly didn't read it and only saw south something, so I prepare a great wall of towers. I feel ready and the timer runs out. Then Mordor attacks from the flanks. Whoops, I totally did build on the stupidest place I could. Oh well, at least I can repel the attack and let my forces sit inside the great wall of useless towers now. With the attack repelled, I build up some unit to max out. Not that I'm going to need it, but who cares? And summon my reinforcements. The units they bring aren't anything special, but the heroes are nice. I use the heroes and some archers to kill a Nazgul, pull my elves back, and then go forth with my hero and eagle squad. They make their way deep into Dol Guldur to their goal, the prison. We demolish it, and inside we find the Genus Viola. We've done it. We finally freed all plants, and they are saved again. The only thing left to do is to ensure this never happens again. Before we can reach the main castle, a Balrog arrives, and I had to think for a moment how to kill this beast. Then I thought to myself, couldn't I just attack it with my eagles? He can't hit air, right? And yes, the almighty Balrog is useless against flyers. We can now watch how an eagle kills this legendary monster without breaking a sweat. Nice. My heroes smash the castle to the ground. I use my powers one last time to almost clear the last buildings, and for one last time my brave heroes charge in and help their flying friends to finish it. And with that I win. The screen fades to victory. We've done it. We saved Middle-earth from the tyranny of Sauron, and the plants are saved. Let's watch the end cutscene together.
Peace has returned to Middle-earth. The War of the Ring is over.
Thank you so much for watching. You can't believe how much it means to me. I love making these videos and even more of people can enjoy them too. This run was way more fun than I thought it would be. Also, it's way shorter and was a nice break from the first game. The spellbook and the unlimited buildings really carried me through. As always, I will ramble a bit about stuff now, so feel free to close the video now. Thanks again. I want to thank the YouTuber Giant Grand Games again for the inspiration of this series. Big shout out to him. I also want to thank my girlfriend again, who loves me and supports me no matter what. With my first video out now, I reflected on some things and tried to improve them here and there. I know I have a lot to learn, but I'm still proud and happy with my results. If you have any suggestions what video I can do next, please let me know. Feel free to critique and criticize everything you see. Okay guys, stay healthy, be nice to each other, enjoy life, and game on!